Okay, so the latest fascination is where is Meghan gonna have her baby? And as you can see here, the Australian news have called it a royal snub because they think that she's not going to have the baby in the Lindo Wing, and their reasoning being is they're going to be over at Frogmore Cottage, and it's going to be too far a drive to the Lindo Wing. And then there's in my earlier videos, I was saying that the renovations aren't going to be complete, so they're not going to actually be moving into Frogmore Cottage. So therefore, she's going to have the baby at the Lindo Wing. So, you know, it's just something to amuse the royal watchers, I think, as we're waiting for the baby to be born. So let's have a look.
Well, with just weeks to go until the arrival of Baby Sussex, Meghan Markle is reportedly planning on breaking with royal tradition by abandoning the hospital where Kate and Princess Diana gave birth. Rather than the Lindo Wing, it's believed the Duchess has opted for a much smaller hospital closer to the couple's new home in Windsor. For more, I'm joined by royal commentator Victoria Arbiter.
So, the usual strong words, abandoned. It's not abandoning, it's just a choice, and it's a little bit of tradition, a bit of convenience. So let's have a look what Victoria Arbiter's got to say.
Who is in New York for us now. Victoria, good morning to you.
Good morning to you.
We know the palace is not confirming or denying this rumour, but what is the Duchess said to be planning for the arrival of this bub?
Well, you have to feel for Meghan because it seems that whatever decision she tries to make, she's accused of breaking tradition. Now, where to have a baby strikes me as a very personal choice. It's not one that should be dictated by so-called tradition. Granted, the Lindo Wing has seen more royal births than any other royal hospital, the first being in 1974, the Duchess of Gloucester. But having said that, Fergie, she delivered Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie at the Portland Hospital in London. Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, had her children at Frimley Park Hospital. So I think Meghan really is making this decision based on her age. She is over 35, she's 37, which is considered a geriatric pregnancy. That's not a derogatory term, it's just that there are slightly more risks with an older pregnancy. And so I think Meghan is following the advice of her doctors and choosing a facility that's really going to best suit her needs, as opposed to following this tradition that everybody seems to think she should follow.
That's very well put. And I think, as I pointed out before, it depends on actually where they're actually going to be living. They might not actually make it to Frogmore before the baby's due. So we'll have to wait and see, won't we?
There are claims that Meghan has made this decision so she's not seen to be copying Kate. We know that there is this so-called feud between the duchesses. Is this adding more fuel to the fire?
It would seem awfully petty if that's how Meghan was making her choice, and I think she's much smarter than that, and I think she and Kate have moved way beyond this suggestion that there is a feud. With royal wives, it is a given that their lives are always going to be compared, so anytime they can do something differently to stand alone and not deal with those comparisons, well, that seems quite sensible to me. But also, Diana and Kate, they delivered their babies at the Lindo Wing, partly because the hospital is a good 5-minute drive or so from Kensington Palace, where they were living. Meghan, as you mentioned before, she's going to be living in Windsor. I don't think any first-time mother wants to have the thought of a 20-minute, 25-minute drive to the hospital when they're expecting their baby. So I think if she is choosing a hospital closer to Windsor, it's being done so on the advice of her doctors, and also because it allows for the facilities that allow her to follow her particular birth plan. So I think we can leave any suggestion of a feud out of this decision.
Yeah, we won't have long to wait, just about a month or so to go.
Yeah, so that was a nice little summary by Victoria. It's I agree with everything she said, except for I don't think they're going to be in Frogmore Cottage. That's my opinion. I think the renovations are going to take too long. I don't think they're going to make it there. But we'll see. I might be wrong. We'll see.
Now, in the meantime, Kate Middleton is believed to have secretly hired a new stylist to revamp her wardrobe. So much focus, of course, on what the royals wear. And we know that Kate's style is the envy over women all around the world. Is there more to this story than really meets the eye? Why would she need a new stylist?
What's going on there?
Well, Kate's current stylist, Natasha Archer, who's been working with her for quite a long time, is currently on maternity leave. So that leaves an open space for a stylist. And given Kate's busy schedule, she's a mum with 3 children, she needs a stylist, someone that can help her out with her wardrobe. She's not remotely interested in being a clothes horse, but she appreciates that she has to dress the role.
Okay. Usually I won't comment on women's style, but whoever put Kate in that little outfit should be shot. She looks like a chocolate wrapper, doesn't she? Like bows. Come on, unless you're like a toddler, I don't think you should be wearing bows like that. It just doesn't look right, does it? But maybe I should just shut my mouth. But as soon as I saw it, I thought, yeah, it looks like a little chocolate wrapper.
Now, she's believed to have brought in an old college friend, Virginia Chadwick Healy, and she comes with quite a pedigree. She's known as Ginny to her friends, but she worked at Vogue for 12 years. She's known William and Kate for many years. She was at their wedding in 2011, and she's got a very defined style, but she believes in curating and creating, and so she likes to come in and really reduce down a wardrobe and then build it back up again. But I think Kate is aware that with these types of engagements that she's doing, given that the Queen is stepping back that little bit more, Kate is going to be at the forefront. She has to dress the role, and so I think certainly while Natasha is on maternity leave, Ginny is filling the space beautifully.
I hope she keeps recycling some of her outfits and shoes too. I know there's so much focus on the fact, oh my goodness, she's worn the same pair of shoes twice, which I love actually, so I hope she continues to do that. Now, I wanted to also ask Victoria about this 2 months after Prince Philip's car crash, where of course he T-boned another vehicle and its passengers were injured in that incident. The Queen is apparently going to be limiting her time behind the wheel. The reports are that Her Majesty will instead be chauffeured entirely from now on rather than driving herself.
Well, they're saying chauffeured entirely on public roads. Now, the Queen loves to drive. She served as a mechanic during World War II.
Now that's a piece of information. When I first heard it, I never heard that before, that she was a mechanic in World War II, the Queen. Yeah, great little bit of trivia there.
Very comfortable around cars and engines, and she loves to bomb around the private estates. I think this decision is being made based on the advice of her senior aides and her security team, but perhaps also in solidarity with Prince Philip. She's very aware that he felt like he'd been stripped of his independence, being told he couldn't drive on public roads anymore. So it's a sensible decision, especially given the day after Prince Philip's car accident, she was seen driving on a public road not wearing a seatbelt. That doesn't go over terribly well. So I think the Queen will still be spotted on private roads that are within the estate. But yes, it's another reminder of the passage of time. The Queen will be 93 later this month. And so I think it's a sensible decision, but one that no doubt hurts a little bit because, of course, that is a level of independence that is being removed.
Yeah.
But I think we'll still see the Queen behind the wheel on private estates.
I think you're right there. Victoria, always good to get your insights. Thank you so much.
Okay, so that was a nice little segment. Victoria Arbiter, I've got a lot of respect for her. She does give a very balanced, not too gossipy coverage, and very knowledgeable. A lot more knowledgeable than me. She's been in the game a lot longer than I have. I'm just a bit of a royal fan. I'm not a professional reporter as such, like Victoria. So I hope you enjoyed her coverage, and that brings us up to date with all of the latest news I've got of the Royals. There's only a few more weeks left until the baby's born, so looking forward to that, and looking forward to covering it all for you guys all around the world. So thanks for your support, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and keep an eye out. Hit the bell button so you get notifications of my next video, and I'll see you next time. See ya.